Okay, every industry needs highly skilled people, and herd improvement is no different. Sara Merckel, CEO of the National Herd Improvement Association, has spent 15 years upskilling industry professionals to improve standards, efficiency, and professionalism. A passionate advocate for stakeholder management and engagement, she's here to share how training and continuous learning are shaping the future of herd improvement. Everyone, please let's welcome Sara Merckel talking about training and industry excellence.
So the great thing about our industry is it's not regulated. There's so much freedom. You've got so much opportunity to be able to try different things, new things, be different, be daring, put different things in place. But the bad thing about our industry is it's not regulated. And what that means is that people who are doing the right thing, well, they're getting let down by people who aren't. There are people who are really holding up those standards in our industry. And for the people who aren't doing that, there are no repercussions. And it's kind of letting the industry down as a whole. It means that people coming up through the industry, they're having varying levels of education and mixed messages. And they're getting told conflicting things in some situations. Now, you might be thinking of cowboys or people getting away with this or that, or this person over there says this is how it is, and another person over there says, no, it must be like this. And sometimes it all feels like, what's the point? There are a lot of passionate people in this room, and we all have one thing in common. We all want to see the industry succeed. So what we can do together is really set a benchmark for our industry. How about we see our piece of the industry as boats we are all steering together in the same direction? I spent a year living in beautiful Inverloch in Gippsland before I recently moved back to Melbourne because there was no Uber Eats and I had to cook my own food. But what I loved about that experience and living so close to the water was seeing the tides come in and out at the inlet there. And then it reveals a huge sandbank and all the boats need to manoeuvre around that. And it's just a really beautiful place. And it reminded me of the saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. And I have a vision where we all shift professionalism to such a high bar, just riding that tide together. So how do we really work together and drive professionalism? Well, there are some great things about the industry that we've heard over the last 2 days. And one of NHIA's great things is that we focalise on specialised training programs. Because NHIA, we can provide that independent approach. So let's talk AI, but not as we've been told, not this robot cow, not this kind of AI. We all know it's artificial insemination. So what NHIA has done is it's developed a best practice. It was reviewed in 2024, and what we do is we work with experts in the field who are AIing on a day-to-day basis to create a best practice of AI. We also updated the NHIA DA manual that Paul referred to, where he has copies, where his microscopes are. So we updated that in line with best practice, and it's an excellent manual. It's excellent if you're training AI. It's an excellent resource. And throughout this manual, there is reference to best practice, and those new in their career do know that we have a professional industry standard and that there is a pathway to professional accreditation. So who remembers the A and B class with accreditation? It often comes up in conversation as that's how training was back in the day. And it was fabulous back in the day, but it's gone, it's out. And if we want to hold on to some old things, but we really need to let go and embrace some new practices. So after A and B class, NHIA ran accreditation in Sunbury, where all the AI courses used to be held between the years of around 2022 to 2028. Then that facility got sold in Sunbury, and we've had to put the brakes on accreditation for some time, which is mostly due to animal ethics and how tricky it is to navigate around that. So old methods, they just don't exist anymore, and we really have to embrace a new way to promote professionalism. So it's been some time since the AI Professional National Accreditation has been offered. So moving with the times, NHIA undertook a really extensive review, also in line with hearing about people that are doing the wrong things and really wanting to push that standard in industry. So there's a new one, it's upgraded, it's better. There is a huge focus on biosecurity, and we want to find a way to promote those who would have been eligible for a professional accreditation but missed out since the brakes have been on for a while. So here's what NHIA is offering, which is a professional national accreditation with some information on the QR code. But how you are eligible for this is you must be a member of NHIA, a current active AI technician, been active for the past 3 years, and you must be doing at least 3,000 NSEMs a year. It's not a money-making exercise, it's really just to push professionalism in the industry. There's a short exam based on best practice. It takes 30 minutes to do that exam, the same time as I'm told it takes to professionally AI 15 cows. So that's the amount of time that one takes. It's not only NHIA driving this message, there is a lot of industry players who really want to endorse techs who have the tick and are doing the right thing. So these are the organisations from NHIA's Beef Working Group, and they are really driving the message of industry doing the right thing. So isn't it commendable that organisations are coming along the way to promote professionalism and industry standards for the very reason of coming together and steering the boat in the same direction? So we've developed this through close collaboration with people who do this work every day. So it's industry really setting professionalism standards that set you apart, where you can get an NHIA stamp that actually means something. And wouldn't it be great to set yourself apart from people in the industry that are giving it a bad name? But not only that, the importance of an AI tech. Getting cows pregnant produces next year's profits in milk income. So you can imagine, and you know what that means to your clients. So it's a way to back yourself with quality assurance. Make sure you're doing the right thing. So best practice, that's a QR code to download that straight to your phone. So if you don't want to adopt any of these new practices, it'd be great to actually understand what they are. So that's on the QR code, so you want to be across it. In today's world, business is changing really fast, and we can't always rely on old ways of doing things, especially with IVF coming through, which we are still learning about. So it's a great way to showcase that you're already on the front foot with professionalism. So we want to promote the good, we want to showcase the best in the industry, and a way to fast-track accreditation is getting through that best practice amnesty, which closes early May. So that's covered AI best practice, professional AI accreditation with an endorsement from the top players in industry, and we really thank those companies for getting on board to help push professionalism in industry. We also recognise that there are some other skills in industry in a particular field of semen and embryo handling, and there are people dedicated to that specific skill every day that can also get an industry specialised accreditation. So some job roles also assist in the area, and they can still get access to a high-level semen and embryo training, and we think it's really important to separate that level of expertise to someone who's accredited dealing with semen and embryos all the time, or someone who is assisting in that role. So maybe not all staff are at the highest accreditation level, but you actually have people that assist. So it's good for any staff handling semen and embryos to get some specialised training, especially for OHS purposes. So if you were handling semen and embryos and someone was to question your skills, it would be great to say you have done an industry-led course that really holds weight, there are guidelines, there are processes, and you followed the industry standard. A level 1 is also a really good pathway to accreditation, and it will really help set you apart as having that extra recognition. We're also bringing along the way a list of centres, professional centres, to hold the semen and embryo accreditation yet So we haven't finished building this list of centres, but that's our members who are really coming on board to be involved, because without them assisting through this training, we wouldn't be able to run it as well without using their high-level facilities. Another way NHIA recognise people is through digital badges. So you may see NHIA digital badges on a person's social media or their email, and it's a really great way to see a person's level of expertise very quickly. So there's a lot of people that would never find themselves in rooms like we are in today, people who maybe don't want to be up with the best practice or know what's the latest news. But we know at conferences like this how important it is to be kept in the loop, and we all want to steer industry in that professional direction. So that's covered 3 things: AI best practice, AI accreditation, semen and embryo handlers accreditation. There's a QR code. If you want to know a little bit more, if you're after some further information, we can send that to you. Or maybe you just, would like to take the next step. So that's, any questions?
That was wonderful. Thank you very much, Sara. We do have 2 questions in the slider to start off with, and then we'll go to the floor. So our first question is from Steph, and she says, "Hi, Sara. What is NHIA currently recommending for early career AI techs in terms of training?"
Yep, so last time we were in this room, we were promoting the joint initiative where Dairy Australia had secured funding to rewrite an entry-level AI entry-level course. So we still promote those TAFEs that are involved in that training, which are on the NHIA website. So if you're new coming into industry, there are TAFEs who specifically are working with the revised curriculum. They're using the AI manual, and we're still pushing out those TAFEs and recommending that as a first step to get into industry, and then promoting the careers that are available once they've done that course, and trying to get them some work experience if that's something that they want.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a great initiative. We do have a comment, I think, from Chris Kendall, which says liquid nitrogen tanks have been carried in cars, particularly farmers collecting their tanks from our warehouses. We are liable if we put the farmer liquid nitrogen tank in their car. Do you have a comment on this?
So Chris has come on board as one of our newest trainers, and he's been, his expertise is really great to have in the room, and I think that comment is just in regards to a big part of it is what to do if you are travelling with LN2, if you're travelling with it, and a big part of what's in the manual is around safe handling, because if you were to have an accident with that, you're liable. So it's about the best processes and knowing what to do in that situation.
Yeah, and it's great that you're caring not just about providing the best service to dairy farmers, but also protecting the safety of people that work in this industry. Is there any question from the floor that we'd like to... yes. Could we please get a microphone to this lady over here? Oh, no. Wait. And if you could state your name and where you're from and your question.
Amy Cleggett. I'm off a farm near Mount Gambier. I was just wondering, like, you talk a lot about people coming into the industry and established. What about farmers that may have done an AI course like 20, 30 years ago? Mm-hmm. Are there any resources for, like, refreshing that, and obviously with all the updates that have been done in the manual and things, to get that information out to them that's a bit more up to date?
Yeah, so there are refresher courses being offered by the same TAFEs that we promote, and we do have a training newsletter as well, which we send that information out. So if you wanted to put your details, or speak to me, I'm just over there, I can get your details down, but we do have a newsletter promoting what's happening. It's on our Facebook page, but we do realise we need to get it out to a wider audience as well, so we're looking at ways to establish that. And one of the things that we've done recently is done some technician training days in regions throughout Victoria. We've started to promote that, and we're getting that out through, like, West Vic Dairies promoting it, and just outside of the NHIA membership, so we're trying to drive the message of professionalism that way as well.
Wonderful. And I guess this conference is a way to get the message out. And if people want to take that message and carry it even further, then I'm sure that Sara would not mind that happening. Any other questions on the floor? No? Okay. Oh, yes. Could we please get a microphone over here?
Just a comment, if I may, Yi Cheng. I just wanted to congratulate you, Sara, on all the work that NHIA has been doing over the last couple of years. So you and I had lots of discussions early on. I think it was particularly during the COVID crisis where a lot of the international techs couldn't come in. And the amount of work that you and the board and the various different working groups have done is amazing. And I've got lots to catch up with you on, but just from where we were sort of 5 years ago as an industry going, how do we deal with this, to what NHIA is doing now, I think, I just wanted to congratulate you and the team. Well done.
Thank you. And it was great to have DA's involvement in really picking that up and creating that level of standard for an entry-level course, and then for us to really lift the bar for professionalism is what we're aiming for at the moment. So thank you too.
That's wonderful. Great recognition. Thank you so much, Sara.